Got me falling right back.
This whole so-called reality in which we live is rigged up, down, and sideways. It is fake, false, and fraudulent beyond all belief. And all I can tell you is that what you think you know when you look around at the world, the understanding you think you have of how things run, it ain't that way.
I'm just scrabbling around in the dark trying to piece it together.
We're doing the best we can with insufficient data points, and that is by design.
Wait, you gotta know, just so you understand. We've been fed a lie. We've been fed...
It's a point of view thing, I think.
Earth has been misrepresented to us by geologists.
Hey, this is Chubbs, and welcome to the 5th edition of CBS World News. So, taking what you've just heard into consideration, do you think maybe they've been lying to us about the shape of the world that we're living on? Maybe the world's flat. There's been a lot of internet debate going on about this recently, and it's caught my interest. I'm always looking for a good conspiracy theory, and I'm always looking for something to call bullshit on. And I've been looking at some of the flat earthers or ball earth skeptics research recently, and they make some good points. Looking back on it, it's amazing that I've never actually questioned the ball earth model and everything that goes with it. It's been so ingrained since childhood. Why would I even think of it? I reckon all these guys that have started the ball rolling, no pun intended, deserve a bit of credit for just having the balls to ask. Four months ago, I wouldn't have thought that anybody would be stupid enough to question the ball earth model, let alone have the balls to actually put their beliefs out there for scrutiny. And just the mere fact that the debate is still alive, it seems to me bears testament to the fact that some of these arguments are worth looking into. And I've been doing just that. In fact, I even joined one of the leading flat earth research forums, and I'm sad to say I've been kicked off already. Now, I'm not sure why, but I think it's probably because they think I'm a shill. Now, I'm not sure what a shill is. I'll be investigating that later on in the episode. But the moderator of this forum seems to have been calling a lot of people shills recently. I'm not sure this really means anything, but back when I was at primary school, there was this incident where this kid did a poo in the hand basin of the boys' toilets. All the boys were taken into the school hall, and there was a bit of an interrogation to find out who did it. And as it turns out, the first kid that started calling out other kids was the kid that actually did the poo in the basin. How messed up is that? I'm not entirely sure why I was kicked off, but maybe it's because I've got a funny name. And yeah, I know it might sound a bit funny to you, but your name probably sounds a bit funny to people where I'm from. To be honest, I kind of wish I hadn't used my real first name, because I didn't think I'd even be making videos, let alone such controversial ones. And yes, I'll admit my first few episodes went entirely serious. But due to the subject matter, who can blame me? Have you seen any of NASA's videos recently? They're fucking hilarious. But not all of my videos are going to be about NASA. After all, this isn't the NASA channel. Just because NASA seems to have been lying about damn near everything doesn't mean they speak for all of science. The current oblate spheroid Earth model does seem to have some holes, but I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's oblate peroid model could be worth looking at. Check this out.
Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, we can't believe this Neil deGrasse Tyson guy. He's a Satanist. Now, don't jump to conclusions. Just because he makes the same funny hand signals as all these people who have admittedly sold their souls to the devil, doesn't mean he's a Satanist, necessarily. Haha, the world's turned pear-shaped. Metaphorically, maybe, but physically, nah, I doubt it. So, is that guy a shill? I've heard that word bandied about a bit recently in a lot of different contexts. It seems to be a derogatory term, an insult, maybe a term for somebody who disagrees with your views, or has views differing to your own. I've looked it up in my trusty dictionary, and it's not in there. And I won't be checking Wikipedia because I'm coming to the conclusion they're not to be trusted on anything, but that's for a future show. So what's a shill? After some extensive and thorough research, the best I can come up with is a cross between a shrimp and a krill. So what? You're calling somebody a shill, does that mean you're calling them spineless? So the moral of this episode? Be nice to the people you shared this earth with, whether they believe it's a sphere, a pear, a square, a plane, a planet, a disc riding on the back of 4 elephants on top of a turtle flying through space, an oblate spheroid flying through space. Keep an open mind, don't be scared to look into different points of view, be malleable. There's no shame in changing your opinion on things, and remember, if I've learned one thing on my relatively short time on this whatever the hell we're living on, is that the people that think they know it all, that think they have all the answers, are the most full of shit.
Where is it?
The horizon and you take a picture.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully tomorrow will be a little different.
In which way? Turning? Are you sure about that? No. Did you ever feel the earth spin? Did you ever see the curve? Nobody ever did. Nobody ever measured it. Nobody ever felt anything. Can you feel the earth spinning? You do? Awesome. Tell me. What? Tell me about it. How does it feel?
It's scary.
It is, man. Where's the curve? You see the curve too? Oh, okay. So it's flat.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Same stars each night. How's that possible? If you fly on a ball to infinite space. You know about sea level?
My husband.
Sea level. There's a reason why it's called sea level. All oceans are on level. Atlantic, Pacific, all of them. They all share one sea level. Altitude is measured from sea level. Earth is flat and motionless. Look into it.
Once upon a starseed. Once upon a time, you were this. You had no name, no shape, no color, no size, no sex, age, or sound. You were timeless and spaceless. You were everything and nothing at the same time, the Alpha and the Omega. You were, and still are, infinite, intelligent, potential energy, sometimes referred to as the void, the monad, dark matter, counter space, the creator, or simply God. You are God, in quality but not quantity. You are but a drop in the ocean of everything. At some point, you, this everything and nothing, decided to become, well, something. This was the first thought. This first thought led to the first manifestation. In the beginning, God spoke, sound and vibration. The second manifestation soon followed. Let there be light. And so, light was manifest into existence. We now had the first manifestations or building blocks of existence, the original Holy Trinity, light, sound, and vibration. This holy triad was and still is the spark, fire, or pyra of life at the center or middle of all existence. The pyramid of existence. This is Atum or Adam, the atom. This original triad or pyramid spark of life in its purest form is of course a star. You are a star. You are physically made up of stardust, atoms, atomic energy, and within you contain starlight, spirit, or conscious energy. Stars, of course, are angels or angles of light resonating at various frequencies of light and sound within the universal spectrum of frequency. Now, the first atomic or Adamic star in this universe was Polaris, the pole star at pole position, the Pyra in the middle, the pyramid star where it all began. This is the original light bearer, Brahma, Lucifer, Christ, or simply the point of singularity as modern science calls it. This is the firstborn star of our universe. Everything revolves around Polaris. All stars in our universe were born out of Polaris. This polar original star fragmented itself into individual fractals of itself in a process known as the Big Bang in modern scientific circles. Of course, we all know there are many other stars that revolve around Polaris, most notably the 12 main zodiac constellations that help Polaris regulate space, time, and matter within our universe. We could think of Polaris as the conductor in the center, surrounded by a zodiac orchestra of 12 disciples. You, I, and everything in existence is a fractal reflection of Polaris, the central star of the show. Polaris, along with all the other superstars, are of course in the heavens above our heads. These celestial heavens are a plane of existence in our universe contained within something known as the firmament or firm mind. Aptly named, as this plane of existence, the firmament, is constant and infinite in time and space relative to everything else in our universe. The next manifestation of existence after the heavens, with all the various angels or angles of light, sound, and vibration, was the ether field. The ether field is the plane below the firmament, but above the earthly plane. We could call the ether field the space or bridge between heaven and earth. This is where the solar systems exist and operate from. Our solar system, of course, predominantly consists of suns and moons, what we know as planets from our perspective. Many of you will now know plasma is the conduit for all atomic light, sound, and vibration to express itself in various forms. The planets within the plane of the ether field are structured within plasmic gas, whereas the stars in the firmament plane are structured within plasmic light. The alchemical merging of atomic plasmic light in the heavens and atomic plasmic gas in the ether field creates what we call spirit. Spirit is also known as the Holy Ghost in religious circles. In essence, when we're in the heavens, we were a star, plasmic light. And when you were in the solar system ether field, you became a spirit, plasma gas. Now, space held within the firmament is dipolar, with dipolaric light in the form of stars, as we've already established. Whereas space held within the etheric plane is electromagnetic, with plasmic electric suns and plasmic magnetic moons, otherwise known as the wandering planets. The next plane below the ether field is, of course, the plane of the earth. As many of you now know, I propose that the plane of the earth is currently divided into 4 physical concentric rings of terrain or land. Each ring concentrically spiraling outwards from the center of our universe, pole position, or the North Pole from our perspective here on Earth. These 4 concentric terrains of land on the plane of the Earth are currently separated by various electromagnetic plasma torus fields, also known as domes or Van Allen belts. These are what we might call districts, domains, or dimensions. Each district, domain, or dimension with its own solar and ecosystems. Mercury, the androgynous electromagnetic sun and moon within the central toroidal field. Our electric sun, Apollo, and magnetic moon, Artemis, within our toroidal field. The electric sun, Mars, and magnetic moon, Venus, within the next toroidal field. And of course, the electric sun Saturn and magnetic moon Jupiter within the last outer toroidal field. The entire universe, the heavens or plane of the firmament, with all the stars, angels or angles of light, the plane of the ether field with the various toroidal fields and solar systems, the earthly plane with its various districts, domains and dimensions, is all held within the grand toroidal field of our universe, what many ancient cultures called the cosmic egg. As we established at the beginning of this transmission, your journey as an individual star began in the heavens, where you were an angel or angle of light, a triangle of light to be specific. This triangle of light is of course your original frequency of light, sound and vibration. You and I continually emit the frequency of this light, sound and vibration. This frequency is manifest here on earth by all sentient beings as our thoughts, emotions and actions. In the heavens, we were superstar angels or angles of light. Our true frequency was and still is aligned to a particular angle of space within the celestial cosmos. This angle of space is what we call a constellation of stars. Thus, we could say your original triangle of frequency was and still is aligned to certain celestial constellations. This is your original sign of nature, your spiritual signature. This spiritual sign of nature can be determined by the exact location of celestial star constellations at the exact time and space of your earthly incarnation. Your Earth Day, or birthday in short, is what we might call your astrology. Astro meaning a star, logi coming from the root word to log, record or document. Astrology is simply the science of one observing, recording and documenting their original spiritual sign of nature, their signature. As above in the heavens, so below here on earth. Naturally, these three planes of existence, the heavens, the ether field and the earth, all operate within different bandwidths of frequency. We could call these different frequencies or bandwidths universal language or coding. This frequential universal language is coded as sine wave signals that are holographically transmitted and interpreted by us through the mind. All is mind. As an earthly sentient being, your thoughts and emotions are simply frequency of energy you are continually downloading, emitting and transmitting. This downloading, processing, emitting, transmitting and subsequent actioning of oneself is what we call consciousness. And like I've been saying, there are four main stages of conscious awareness: the unconscious, the conscious, the subconscious and superconscious mind. These stages, or states of conscious awareness, are programs built into the mainframe of the human higher mind system. They are like levels or grades that help us perceive, interpret and experience reality in any given space and time. The degree of one's conscious perception in relation to universal truth is what we call intelligence. Our purpose on earth is for us to intelligently navigate through our earthly experiences. Experience, of course, evokes a process of learning. Learning leads to growth, and growth is, of course, expansion. Expansion, as we all know, is movement. We must move the ment, move the mind. That is why we are here. That is the purpose of life. Every time we move the mind, we draw closer and closer to ourselves, to the oneness, source, or God if you like. You and I are all from the same source of energy. We all contain the same essence of being. We all have the same potential star energy, just at different frequencies of light, sound, and vibration. Now, let's revisit and map each stage of the process from our beginning to our current. 1. You and I began as one, whole with the universe within the multiverse, the void or the womb of source energy. We were and still are a cosmic drop in the ocean of existence, timeless, shapeless, and spaceless. 2. You and I separated ourselves from the whole. We polarized ourselves out of the cosmic womb and into the firmament. This firmament is the first plane of existence in our universe. We were now individual expressions of experience. We became angels or angles of plasmic light, sound, and vibration, or simply stars as we know them. This first division subsequently began our polarized and dualistic descent into the cosmic game of hide and seek. We became co-creators of experience. 3. From plasmic angles of light in the firmament, we transversed further down into the ether field, where our plasmic light transmuted from light to gas, or Holy Ghost. This alchemical transmutation from light to gas is what we call becoming a spirit. As a spirit in the ether field of solar systems, you descended further and further away from the whole, getting lost deeper and deeper into the game, all the while co-creating and cohabiting with all the other stars of the show. 4. At a specific time in space, your spirit was lured into the solar system, getting further away from the firm mind of the heavens and closer to the plane of the lower mind, the earth. Within the ether field of the solar systems, your spirit awaited its turn to enter the holographic physical playing field of the earth. And one day, when the frequency of your particular constellations of superstars was perfectly aligned, your spirit was incepted into the earthly void or womb of a woman. Within the womb, your spirit once again transmuted from plasma gas, spirit, into plasma liquid, blood, within your new earthly body. The alchemical conduit for your plasmic spirit to transmute into blood was the most powerful liquid plasma on earth, electrically charged semen. 5. At some stage during your womb transition from spirit into blood, you became a physical human being, or as I like to call it, a rock star. At the moment of birth, the earth, when you became earth, you entered this realm through the place you enter, the placenta. The moment you took your very first breath, you became a soul. Your star self became soiled to the earth by the soles of your feet, and thus your transmutational descent was alchemically complete. From starlight to plasma solar spirit to plasma DNA liquid or blood, and finally into our current state of matter as a human being. 6. And so, here we are, on the plane of the earth, in this dimensional realm, trying to find the starlight hidden within, the real you. We could say we are playing hide and seek with ourselves. Why? Well, because we chose to. We chose to enter the dragon, the serpent, the Ouroboros circle and cycle of experience, learning, growth, and expansion. We all chose to leave the cosmic womb and enter the energy game of hide and seek, snakes and ladders. Be inspired to find your nearest ladder and reach for the higher mind. 7. The rules of the game are simple. Know thyself and follow your path. One can only know thyself by expanding their conscious awareness. This can only happen when one's intent or heart is pure. A pure heart allows for one to tune into a pure frequency. Pure frequency being knowledge, information, and direction, signaled directly from the higher mind, the firm mind of the superstars in the firmament. This is your knowledge armor, your K armor, otherwise known as karma. However, intelligent intention must always be followed through with intelligent action. We might call this virtuous action. Action, of course, requires change. Be prepared to change your perception of food, health, science, geography, cosmology, religion, and all the other lower mind scripts and programs you inherited. Be open to unlearning, learning, and relearning. Be prepared to change your mind. It's totally mental. All is mind. 8. We have now well established that the earth is a stage, playground or school where our rock star selves experience, learn, grow and expand. And of course, like any school, the school of earth has many various classrooms, what we might call realms or dimensions, and grades, what we might call ages and epochs. Like I've been saying, the season of change is upon us. It's almost graduation day. The graduation ceremony is fast approaching. Are you ready? 9. The student will see when the pupil is ready. Is your pineal pupil opened and ready? What quest are you on? What stage, classroom, and or level of game will you be playing in this and your next lifetime? Find yourself and be yourself. Enjoy the experience of learning. Share your joy with others. Continue to seek, grow, and expand. But most importantly, remember, this is just a game. You are the star of your show. Smile.